All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Well, there's no surprise that the Democrats are going to do everything in their power to essentially take your gun rights away. And every single time I make this comment, people attack me and say I'm being paranoid. And then you see it in the website, right? Biden's website where it says what he wants to do on the gun control. I mean, I'm not making this up. I just came plain reading English, right? Hey, this is what he's saying that he's going to do. I don't understand. I'm just reading from a website. So again, that's what they want to do. You know that. And in fact, if you remember when the president was running as, against President Trump at the time, they're asking questions about packing the court. And this is how it works. Essentially, president will put a law like in a executive order, and then it gets challenged. It goes to the Supreme Court, as far as I know. And again, it will say yes or no. So if you put an order in place and the Supreme Court kind of like takes it away, it is done. But if you put a executive order in place and you control in some kind of way the Supreme Court, then you have more chances to pass that, right? So here, let's take a step back. Biden was asked about packing the Supreme Court a few months ago before he became the president, and he refused to answer that question. Essentially, he just refused to do it. He wasn't going to do it. He didn't answer none of those questions. I know the president ran into some of those things. And, President Trump talked about some of those things as he was running. Now, here's the thing. Now they are talking about it again. Now he's the president of the United States, and now apparently he signed something, some type of executive order that is going to study, it's going to do some type of research on the Supreme Court, right? So obviously that's step one. God knows what that study is going to say. It's probably going to say that we need more, and then he's going to be able to appoint more Supreme justices. That's the key here. Building the foundation so he can appoint more people into the Supreme Justice. So when he comes out with silly executive orders, then they pass and there's no challenge because he's going to appoint people. That's what I'm thinking. I could be completely wrong about that. But again, that's what my brain housing group right here is thinking. But nevertheless, he has a lot of gun control plans coming up. He knows about that. He campaigned those things. And if he doesn't do it, it will be like one of those things that he didn't follow through, right? So he has spoken about restriction on magazines. He has spoken about banning assault weapons, they call it. A bunch of other stuff. If you go to the website, you can read it. I'm not making this up. You could just Biden, yada, 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 in Google. It's going to come out. You could read his plan. Before I continue, check it out. If you want to support the channel, you know what to do. You could become a patron. You could join the squad. You could use our Amazon affiliate links. I definitely appreciate that. You click on those links, buy makeup or whatever you like to buy, maybe survival stuff, and a portion of that money comes to the channel. Obviously, it doesn't cost you any money. Yeah. All right, let's read this real quick and let me share my screen here. I want to share some of the thoughts that the president said just recently and some of the things that he talked here. Fox News has an article about this. It's interesting because as you see here, Biden on Second Amendment, no amendment is obsolete. I'm like, wow, interesting. No amendment is obsolete. So what are you trying to say on this? Right now, English is my second language, so I need to go to the dictionary and see what this means, right? Just so I could completely understand what obsolete means. It says free from restrictions or limitation, not limited in any way. So I'm getting here free from imperfection, complete or perfect. So what I'm getting about this absolute thing is like, hey, no, the Second Amendment is not perfect. And by not being perfect, or in other words, free from restriction, it means that him as a president of the United States could change the Constitution. That is dangerous. So listen, though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, that is so dangerous. That is extremely danger. I don't care about left versus right. I care about the Constitution of the United States. I serve in the Marine Corps doing democratic presidents. I just don't care about left versus right. I care about the Constitution, and changing the Constitution is a dangerous thing, right? Because you're changing the foundation of our country, right? It's like if you have mom and dad and you want to change something, the foundation, like mom and dad. Mom and dad is the foundation of a family, right? You put God in there at the top. So again, let me go back over here and read some of the things because now he's saying this kind of silly stuff. And again, it's not surprising. On Thursday, in a rolling out set of executive orders and gun control, no amendment is actually, while maintaining that nothing he is recommended impeaches the Second Amendment. Wow. Yeah. I seriously not believe that, right? So let me come up here. I want to share a couple things that he says right here. Nothing I am about to recommend in any way impeaches the Second Amendment. The president said, calling arguments suggesting that those constitutional rights are at stakes are funny. And here's the thing that I want to say about this. When he calls us names right here, right, it's interesting because as you see them calling us name, it's a very interesting thing that they do. They put something out and then they call you names. Is very democratic bully technique. We're gonna say this, and if you disagree, we're gonna call you a racist. If you disagree, we're gonna call you a funny. If you disagree, we're gonna call you a bully. If we're gonna disagree, we're gonna call you all this privilege stuff. You don't even get it because you apparently you have white privilege. We're gonna attack you, and if you don't like it, we're gonna attack your family, your children, your way of life, your God. We're gonna attack everything that you have. You're gonna attack everything if you don't agree. That's the new technique that the Democrats have. Either you agree or you are being harassed and attacked by them. And the news is going to put it out there and it's going to be spin in such a disgusting way that it's crazy. And if you make a point, if you actually make a good point that they can't argue, it's simple. This is what they're going to do. They censor you and they make sure that they erase your channel, demonetize your channel, takes you out of the picture, erase your history, erase your website. They got it all figured out. It's a whole system, right? We just recently had that social media that it was picking up some steam, right? I forgot the name now. What was the name of that social media? I still got it here in Parlor. There we go. Parlor. Started picking up some steam. People went there, tried to speak, tried to have a great time there. Shut down. Oh, apparently they plan crazy stuff there. Comes to find out that all the planning for the crazy stuff that they were talking about happened on Facebook. But they're not going to shut down Facebook. They take you out. That's just how it is. I just recently saw a bunch of gun channels here being demonetized. Four so far that I know. Guys that are produce amazing content in our community. I have been given strikes. I have been demonetized. I have been taking. I don't even know why I do this for the money that I get sometimes. Right? Get all the stress that I get here sometimes. So they're gonna call your names. That's what they do. Either you agree or disagree, they're gonna call your name. But the thing about this is, listen to this. No amendment in the Constitution is obsolete. I don't know about that. I really don't get that. I'm pretty sure that the amendments that we have is the foundation of a country, right? You can tell, you can yell fire in a crowd movie theater, recall a freedom of speech. Okay, here's the thing that these people say all the time. This is the interesting stuff. All the time they say, well, you can't yell. I actually wrote some stuff about this in here. You can't yell fire in a movie theater and say it's freedom of speech. Here's the difference. That is putting people's at risk. When you yell fire in a movie theater, you essentially putting people at risk. People are going to be terrified. People are going to scream. People are going to run out. People could trip on the way down. They could be massive. People getting injured. I mean, you are scaring the American people. Of course, it's a crime. Of course, it's going to be punishment by law because you want to hurt people. Now, the Second Amendment gives me the right for me to get a gun. Why do I get a gun? Am I getting a gun for do something horrific? No, I'm getting a gun for the simple fact that I want to protect my family. I want to protect my communities. I want to protect my country. I want to protect my family from a crazy person trying to hurt my wife and children. Not because I or any gun lover or a gun owner, responsible gun owner out there wants to hurt anybody else. That's why not why we get guns. We get guns to protect innocent people and protect ourselves. Now you're gonna say, well, some people get guns and kill people. Well, those are criminals. Tell me a gun law that is gonna stop criminals from doing that. they are criminals. By definition, they don't follow the law. So when you see things like this and says, well, you can't yell, fire in a movie theater, that makes no sense to me. Because that person that is doing that with the purpose of hurting people. And the gun owner, a responsible gun owner, gets a gun with the purpose of protecting people, right? So from the very beginning, you couldn't own any gun you wanted to own. I don't know about that. Um, Here's the thing that I want to say here. I'm not going to go through all this. The reason why the Second Amendment exists is for people to protect themselves from the government, right? From people to protect themselves from the government. And obviously, we use the Second Amendment in order to protect ourselves from, crazy people out there. So, anyways, if you guys want to read this, you're welcome to read all this article. But here's the thing: the Democrats are trying to take away our guns. We know that it's not new. It's not didn't just happen right now. It's something that has been around for quite some time. They've been trying for years upon years. They're putting ban. They've been, everything out there has been for a long time. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Hopefully, we own the Senate coming up. It's very important to vote. I know that a lot of stuff has happened, and it is what it is, and we don't a lot of people don't trust the voting system, but we got to stay in touch. We got to understand that voting is important, and we have to count a vote, call our politicians, let them know that we don't agree, because they are in a mission to take away our rights, and they won't stop until they do it. Let me know what you think. Put comments down below, and as always, God is in control.